The Attack on Titan game. Truly the best game ever created. Absolutely amazing gameplay. Immersive cutscenes. Amazing value for money for a 6-year-old game. I fucking love this game. No guys, I'm serious. I really do. Now, let me give you guys a bit of a history on why I love this game so much. You see, when the first game came out, I was still a dumb kid that didn't like anime. I thought that stuff was for weird kids, which in some cases it still is, but anyway. But everything changed once I discovered Death Note. And well, I loved it. But that's another story. But basically from there, I started getting into anime. You know, I was dipping my toes into the anime pool a little bit, you know, getting my feet a little wet. Started watching some other amazing shows like School Days. And eventually, after a while, I discovered Attack on Titan. And man, let me tell you, when I say I was hooked, I was hooked. I watched everything the show had to offer. The main show, the OVAs, the junior high show. I told literally everyone about it, man. I'm telling you, man. I was breathing that shit in. And if you were in a 1 meter vicinity of me, you can bet your ass I was gonna make you breathe it too. I never touched the manga though. I wanted to experience it all through the anime. That didn't really work out in the end, but either way, you can imagine I really loved Attack on Titan. So of course, for me, it would be a literal dream come true if I got to use ODM gear myself, meet my favorite characters, and save humanity. So eventually, my eyes stumbled upon the games. Yes, games, because by this point in time, the second one had come out already. And man, it just seemed like the perfect deal. You see, the game was not cheap. Like, it was 2 or 3 years old by now, and it was still going at full price of 60 bucks. And so was the first one. And yes, on paper, that sounds fucking stupid. Like, these guys are really money hungry. On top of that, the game was also literally just a blatant copy of the first one, just with some extra hours of content from season 2 and some gameplay additions. So I totally get people that already bought the first one not wanting to buy the second. But in my case, it wasn't that bad of a deal, because I had never owned the game before. Plus, in the second one, you could create your own character in it and interact with the other characters. And when I found out about that, I was sold. So I asked my uncle for it on my birthday. And God knows how, but he got me a physical copy for the Gay Station 4. It even came with an expired coupon for Crunchyroll. Now that's a bargain. So I put that bad boy in and... Yo, it's me editing this video right now. Apparently when you record this game, it has this fat watermark here, which is super annoying. So my apologies about that. It's not my choice, but I'm gonna fix it, don't worry. Alright, let's continue. Oh my god, he looks just like me. This feels so fucking good. I'm Levi, bro. I swear to god, I'm Levi. I'm training with the cadets, bro. This is all I ever wanted. Did I seriously just become friends with Annie? Fucking Annie? Oh my god, bro, hell yeah. I love this shit. Let's go. I can use different swords. Think that you nudists. Fuck yeah, bro. Let's kill that traitor. So yeah, safe to say, I love the game a lot. It truly scratched my fanboy itch from back in the day. And because of that, it will always have a very special place in my heart. I even platinumed it on my PlayStation, which let me tell you, wasn't easy. So all of this being said, some of you might be a little confused. Since, well, at the beginning of the video, I was kind of making fun of the game. And that's because it actually has a lot of flaws. Now, don't get me wrong, I love it. It's definitely really fun. But unless you were a super hardcore fan like I was back then, it's likely that you won't be able to stick to it for very long. But maybe I'm wrong about that. And this review / storytime video might convince you to give it a shot. Or not. That's very valid too. So allow me to introduce yourself to the Attack on Titan game. Starting off with the gameplay. It's dope. Okay, it really makes you feel like Spider-Man, I mean yourself with ODM gear. And there is quite a lot of room to improve and upgrade your gear. You can do most things you would want to do as a Survey Corps soldier. Like riding a horse when you can't shoot your gear, or using flare guns to distract titans. But I would be lying if I said it can get repetitive for some people. Personally, I almost never had any issues with this, because it is a lot of fun, but it's something to keep in mind if you don't like games that use a very similar game loop for quite a while. The AI of the Titans itself is not bad, especially not in Inferno mode, which is the hardest difficulty. Then you really gotta focus. But the thing is, in this game, you aren't just fighting the titans, you are also fighting the game itself. Because if you ain't as good as Levi on crack in the harder missions, say goodbye to your frame rate. Because there will be so many titans at one spot trying to eat you at the same time, your game will be choppier than ever. So take that in mind when attempting the harder difficulty. You also need to be aware that this is one of those games where you can level up a lot. And you are gonna get to the point where you will end up killing like 80 titans in one game. Which, if you care a lot about story accuracy, is not really how easy it is in the show. You can also cut down the limbs of the titans before the nape, but it's honestly almost never happened that that's actually a good strategy. You are much better off going for the nape right off the bat most of the time. Unless you wanted to catch all the types of titans for Hanji, which I of course did. You can also play as different characters, and to their credit, they all do play differently. And you can give them other outfits and stuff, which is cute, yeah, I like it. But unless you just want to fuck around a little every now and then, you are really just gonna be using Levi or yourself 99% of the time. Unless you want to turn into a titan, because yes, you can play as titan shifters in this game too. And honestly, the gameplay with titans is kinda ass. It's fun, don't get me wrong, and it can be really satisfying to use in stress situations, but man, this shit just looks so goofy, bro. Be aware though, you can only use characters that aid you in another mode. Yes, that's what it's called. Since the story mode can only be played with your own character. You can also spice things up with getting yourself new types of ODM gear, swords, etc. Which is fun, since they do feel different. But personally, I prefer to fit in with the other squad members. My shirt was white though, because I had to show them that I was the best soldier. You also got multiplayer in this game. Yes, you've probably never heard of that. It's pretty fun. But the reason you've probably never heard of it is because you have to wait like 9 hours until you find someone to play with. Like, these servers are super dead. I'm not even sure if they were actually alive at one point. Like, this is genuinely a wasteland. But to be fair, once you get in a lobby with people, it can be pretty fun. There's even this mini game where you can play as a pure titan and need to try to eat as many people as possible. Which is it's just great. But I do have to mention that this game has quite a few moments of missed potential. Like, for example, when Bertolt and Reiner reveal themselves, they could have made it like a dope level where you try to fight Bertolt like in the show, but in the game, it's just avoiding rocks. Like, this shit's lame, man. Or like, look at this. This looks fire. How cool must the gameplay be to defeat this behemoth? Bruh. Besides this and all the fighting though, you can also free roam in different locations of the show. And here you can talk to characters, which is honestly such a vibe. Every place feels unique, and bonding with characters is honestly really rewarding. At least this is if you don't mind the horrible cutscenes. But we will get more into that later. You can also take them with you on missions so that they can help you fight, which honestly can save you from pretty tricky situations. And to get them to be your friends quicker, you can buy stuff for them. Like golden fucking ingots. The fuck you mean you don't like? As for the story mode, for my fanboy brain it was awesome. But from an outside perspective, you really want to watch the anime before playing this, since it leaves a lot out and it isn't really comparable to the great art and direction from the anime. Although I do like the cutscenes, despite their occasional goofiness. When I say this, I mean the actual cutscenes though. And not whatever this shit is. This is just a straight up slideshow, and I fully get if this bores you. Me? I loved it, but you already know why. I just wanted to talk to Bertolt, but I won't pretend like this doesn't look lazy as hell. And most of the cutscenes in the game are like this. The dialogue and voice acting is quite good though, and you can tell the people behind it understood the characters. So as a hardcore fan, that was enough for me to read all of it. But I won't pretend like this doesn't look lazy as hell. In the story, you also get to see everything from your own eyes, as your own character. Which is just so cool, okay? Like, leave me alone. I think that's dope. The fact this game makes it look like you were at all the important moments is honestly just hilarious. And it also just makes you feel so much cooler when actually watching the anime. Hey, yeah, I was right behind him when he did that. Yeah, I was there. And although I haven't played any other anime games besides this one, I think they did a really good job in allowing you to make your character look however you want. And all the other characters really interact with you a lot, giving you that sweet fanboy satisfaction. A thing that really pisses me off about this game though is the fact there isn't a single song from the anime present. The whole game has an original soundtrack, which to be fair has some absolute bangers in it. But sometimes you just want to play some 2V while fighting the Beast Titan, man. But the game just literally doesn't allow you to play anything on top of the game itself. I tried and it just won't let you. It just blocks out Spotify or anything else besides the audio from the game itself. So like, that's just annoying, you know. The whole gear upgrade system is also quite convoluted and sometimes kinda annoying, since you can only find specific materials in like one level, so you have to play that level like a million times to craft something, which I did. Graphics wise, the game looks alright. I don't really know why almost all anime games look the same, but it's good enough for me, most of the time. Like, what the fuck is bro doing here? At this point, you are probably aware that I really like the game, despite its flaws. So when I heard there was a DLC coming out about season 3 that included fucking machine guns, you know I was intrigued. But I ended up not buying it for a few reasons. One, the voice acting and music. For some reason in this DLC, all voice actors just sound like they didn't feel like coming to work that day. On top of that, the lack of the amazing Attack on Titan OST is felt a lot more in this DLC than in the previous part of the game. Like, just listen to the difference between the anime and the game. A lot of cutscenes also look way more goofy and lazy than the first part of this game. Plus, I had platinumed the game by the time the DLC came out, and if I was gonna play more, I wanted to achieve more trophies as well. But the developers were like, no, this DLC just didn't have any achievements with it. So all of those things combined just made me want to pass. So there you go, my experience slash review slash story time of the Attack on Titan game. I hope you enjoyed it. But besides that, I have an announcement for you guys. You see, a super nice guy named Applesauce that has been following me for a very long time recommended me to make a Discord, but my boomer ass doesn't know how Discord works. So he made it for me, and now I have a Discord for you guys where you can talk about videos that you want me to make or discuss controversial topics like the Attack on Titan ending. Like, I saw the comments under that video. I think some of you guys might want a place to discuss this further. You might be into that. So feel free to join the Discord. I'm still learning on how everything works with being a Discord mod and all that, but I'm sure it will be fine. So if you are interested in this Discord server, click the link in the description or the pinned comment. Again, thanks a lot to Applesauce for the idea and the help, and let me know what you thought of the Attack on Titan game. Did you play it? Did you hate it? Are you in the middle? Either way, I will see you guys in the next one.